Hey guys, welcome back to another review. Before we get, started, you guys know the drill. If you guys want to be notified for future videos, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell, because for some reason YouTube, you gotta hit a notification bell to get notified, and you can't just subscribe. I'm not really sure why it's set up like that. But also, you guys can follow me on Instagram /threads and all that, because for some reason you have to have threads in order to, I have to have threads in order to see, the post and all that. Like, I swear I mess this up every time, but I cannot, see people's responses to some post I made and all that, so there's that. There's also X. I do have X. But I haven't been posting a lot of things. I need to get posting more stuff over there, but it's kind of nice to have all that. Hope you guys are enjoying fall, I know fall's kind of coming in a little bit late this year, but it looks like we're finally getting into it. And, what better way to do fall than another, spooky, review. Now, this episode here is one I want to talk about here. There's actually quite a few Teen Titans episodes I kind of want to talk about. Now, I've covered Teen Titans Go with episodes and all that. I've reviewed some individually. I'll probably do some more, because, kind of compare some stuff, to the original and all that. But I did do an episode that I did actually not mind in Teen Titans Go in the past. That was a spooky one. My issue, though, is with Teen Titans Go compared to the original show. They tend to do a lot of the same plots. Not very good ones, and they end up leaving you to, this stuff, where you gotta, it's kind of hard to review something and you're basically repeating yourself. So, it's nice to kind of take a break from the reboot and talk about the original, which was actually a good show. And, one episode, though, I wanted to talk about out of all of them. There was a few I could have talked about. This is the one I wanted to talk about, though, and that is Slade. Yes, Slade. Boy, Slade in general is a very, very creepy guy. He's a very creepy guy. Very obsessive with kids and all that, and, I just like how creepy he is. They don't make him some cartoons, they'll especially with SpongeBob, they sometimes make him way too obsessive and creepy and make it really, disturbing, even where the audience doesn't feel comfortable watching an episode. Here, though, they do a very good job, and I think it helps that he technically is a villain, where SpongeBob is not. I know it's kind of funny I'm talking about SpongeBob, but trust me, in the future when I review season 6 and even 7, there are some really creepy freaking SpongeBob episodes, or there's even some even earlier than that I'll be talking about, where SpongeBob himself is very creepy, and this can go with other shows too. I'm not saying it's just SpongeBob, But yeah, I don't know. But that's kind of the thing with Slade. Slade is a predator. He's a villain. He's obsessed with wanting an apprentice. Unfortunately, his last one, he lost to her and all that, and everybody thinks he's gone, but Robin, for some reason, is still obsessed. And apparently Cyborg, even comes in and tells him that he needs to stop obsessing over Slade. That he's gone, and he fell in a pit of lava. Like nobody should be able to survive that, Which I'm like, if he fell in a pit of lava, how do they have all his equipment? Unless he actually survived. You know? Which, I'm just gonna clarify and say that, yeah, he did not survive, because it reveals in this episode, kinda at the end, that he actually didn't survive, but, I try not to spoil, plots of a TV show, but they do kinda hint at that, but, man, he didn't really survive. He actually did get killed by Terra and all that, and, but I do really like how, throughout the entire episode, it's like only Robin can see Slade. That's the whole thing where the Haunted comes in. He's the only one who can see him. Nobody else can. So at first you think maybe he's a ghost, like I've said, he did die. Maybe he's a ghost and all that, because we see Robin chasing him in the storm and all that, and he's like jumping on these trees and all that. But then we start seeing that the others cannot see him. So we start thinking maybe Robin is losing it. He's losing his mind because of how obsessive he is. That's the thing, too. Obsessions can actually do that to you. That's why you gotta be careful. It's not just about people, it's in general, like, when you get obsessed with something too much, it can get to you. You may just not notice it, but like when you're stressed out about something and you obsessed, it can do that, and it can turn you, kind of against your friends, or a bit, like you get more irritated when something's not working out, and like I know for experience, well, I haven't really lost, like, really a lot of friends. I'm just saying, that has happened, where you can get obsessive and all that, and, that can happen if you get too far, like, things, and that's kind of, how it is with Slade here, it's like, like if you get obsessed with a person, or a thing, or an object, or have a grudge on something, you can definitely, start, like, obsessing to the point where it can drive you mad. But, we see that throughout the entire episode, and also I like how Beast Boy gets, like, a cold. Like, he gets a cold. I kind of feel bad for Beast Boy. He's got to do all this crap even though he's got a cold. But I do kind of feel bad for, him. But, to be fair, though, again, Robin's just trying to do his job and trying to take down Slade, because, we don't really know who Slade exactly is. Well, actually, in the comics, apparently his name is actually Deathstroke, but they did go with the name Slade because, I guess it was too violent to call him Deathstroke in the actual show, which is just stupid. I don't know why they couldn't just call him that, but they have no problem calling one of the villains Killer Moth. I mean, I guess kill and death are a little bit different things, but, killing, it sounds more violent than, death. Like, I don't understand why they can't just keep the word in there, but I do like the name Slade, too. I do like that. But yeah, we do, we know a little bit about his identity, but in this show, we don't really know exactly what he was trying to, we know he was trying to, like, train apprentices, but we don't know, like, what he was after exactly. What is he taking over the city? Because we saw that with Terra, but we didn't really get to see exactly, like, what he wanted to do, or why he was so obsessed with, like people like Robin. It felt kind of weird. I guess Robin is very trained with powers, but I don't know, it's just kind of weird. We know a little bit about him, but not like a ton. Which, I guess that kind of makes us feel like Robin, where we really want to know who this guy is and all that, and, he just has a strange mask on and all that, so it's really interesting. But yeah, apparently though, he starts going mad, and then like he locks down the tower, and then apparently all this was just in his head, because apparently it was sort of in his head, sort of not, because apparently there was some sort of special kind of dust or something, that like made him see and feel Slade, and it made him more and more aggressive. But yeah, so we started seeing more of that, and we could see he was getting beat up, so something was definitely going on there. But even like when Raven was using Robin's vision, we saw like he got beat up. So clearly he was kind of there in a way, but I don't know. It's kind of a weird way they wrapped up the episode too. Like I kind of wish there was a little more to, maybe. I mean, they do reveal again at the end of the episode that it was outside the tower and all that, and we see the mask glowing red. Like, a possible, like, again, ghost-like thing, that happened. That he actually was, dead and all that, But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting, plot and all that. I do really like that. I do really like, that they are able to, again, make something very disturbing and creepy without making it, super disturbing, like where you feel uncomfortable as an audience member. But that's something I really liked about this show, though, is that, they did a very good job, kind of, I mean, there will be some episodes I'll probably review in the future that I didn't really care for a lot. At some point, too, I want to review the finale of this series, too, because I have some things to say about that, but still, it's just kind of, again, it's like, but again, it's like, like I said, it's just kind of, that's kind of the thing with this show. This show does a very good job, again, telling, interesting stories with villains and all that, and we see that the characters in this show, compared to Teen Titans Go, actually do care for each other and Robin, and I do like that. That's something that I kind of wish that Teen Titans Go did more of, they kind of did more of that. But yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I gotta say, this episode, though, in my opinion, I'm gonna be giving it a good and 120 points. Yep, I'm gonna be giving it 120 points. I think this episode here definitely is very good. Now, it's not my favorite Slade episode. Believe me, there are better ones. But that just shows you, again, how great this show is and how great Slade is as a character. The fact that this episode here is not my favorite, and yet it's still, it's still, like, very good. That's what I like about it. But I wanted to review this episode, because I haven't really reviewed, an episode yet from this show. I was gonna review, I was actually planning on reviewing the season finale, or the series finale, like a few months ago, but things kind of got crazy with the family and all that, so, and by crazy, kind of frustrating in ways, but, it was nice to kind of get all this taken care of, and be able to go back to reviewing stuff. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to review this episode like Tough Puppy, though, because I actually wanted to do a Halloween episode for Tough Puppy. I wanted to do one for Tough Puppy, but unfortunately Tough Puppy, well, I have to like pay for the show, and if I'm gonna buy the show, I might as well just get it on DVD or something, I actually own the show. So yeah. But anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and let things go from here. See you all later. Bye bye.